Microsoft is rewriting Windows. Now, this goes on all the time to a certain extent, with Microsoft adding features and releasing updates, but now a lot of the core Windows libraries are also getting rewritten to the Rust programming language. Why is this happening? Well, because it's time. Some of these things have been around since the 90s. Also, switching to Rust will bring benefits such as better performance, safety, and memory management. And honestly, this is the exact direction I think Microsoft should be going with Windows. Stop with the updates and new features. Just make Windows more stable, reliable, and follow this channel is what you should do, is what I'm suggesting. Oh boy, it's another Windows video. So this is heavily inspired by the fact that Microsoft really just pissed me off this morning. So basically, a few days ago, my normal installation of Windows 10, which has been working fine for many months, has just started acting up in the form of just not working when I press it to shut it down. So when I go to the start menu and I press shut down, nothing happens, and then just like 5-10 minutes later, whatever, the computer just starts magically shutting down, because why would you do it when I tell you to actually do it? And yesterday, man, I just pressed that button and I went to take a shower and then I just went to sleep. How foolish of me for not checking upon my computer, which I told to shut itself down, because how could I expect it to accomplish such a complicated task by itself? So basically, I woke up this morning and I went into this room. This is a relatively small room and I do not have an AC directly in this room, and there was 34 degrees Celsius in here because the computer was on the entire night. Because to my fault, I didn't save some files, so Windows prevents itself from shutting down. But you know, if it would just start shutting down, I would have seen that. If it would just work, then I would have fixed it. It's hot, man. It's like really hot now. And this is really a big reason of why Windows just sort of sucks. There's so many such like tiny issues that then just get under your skin. And it's pretty crazy that Windows is the most widely used OS, yet is the most unstable one. If you've used Mac OS or Linux in the past, you'll know that usually you'll get way more catastrophic blue screen level events on Windows than you will on Mac OS or Linux. I mean, there is a reason why most professionals use something like Mac OS and why most servers run on something like Windows. Sorry, I meant Linux. Definitely Linux, not Windows, not Windows Server. If you go as an IT professional into the server world and you start messing around with Windows Server instead of Linux, you're gonna be fired real soon. So yeah, Windows at this point just has so much legacy code, so many old features, that there's just so much spaghetti code that then just breaks when they add something new or when they update something. So it really just makes me happy when news like this comes out about Microsoft actually rewriting the core Windows code to hopefully make everything more stable, more predictable when they release updates. So they are switching a lot of these old libraries from C and C++ programming languages to Rust, which Rust is just newer, it's better, it's a little bit better made for this sort of a purpose. So naturally, it will just bring better performance, better safety, such nice features, and the Azure CTO is saying that moving forward, everything should just be made in Rust, and also these versions are not yet publicly deployed, they're just sort of doing this in the background, and then they'll just sort of launch everything, switching to Rust for a lot of these libraries. And that's really great, because the main thing that Windows as an OS needs is better stability so that professionals can actually use it. Because when you just have all of these random updates that you just get updated by itself, because Microsoft just pushes them on you, and like it's very annoying when you're a professional in some sort of a field, you need to get work done, yet you had a Windows update that messed something up, and now perhaps your workflow just can't work. I mean, over the past year, I've just reported on so many weird issues with printers not working, with File Explorer not working, with the toolbar not working, and it's like, how are you supposed to get anything done? Like, you're not supposed to be messing around with your OS, you just want to do your work and then just go home and just enjoy life. So stability would be very nice. Also, I would love some more transparency, but that is pretty much wishful thinking to assume that Microsoft would do something like that. And the thing is, if Microsoft does not get its act together with Windows, other OSs such as Linux and Mac OS could just take over. There has been a new Apple translation layer that has come to their Mac OS platform. So now you're going to be able to play a lot of the Windows games on Mac. Linux has had Wine for a very long time. You have devices such as the Steam Deck, which are running Linux, and you can also run Windows software on them. So if companies get to a point where their legacy business software can actually run on just any platform, they might just switch away from Windows to Linux, because Linux is even free and apparently just better. And then of course, Apple has its own cult following, and also their new chips are pretty impressive. And you look at that device like the Mac Mini for $600, you just get so much value. The only problem is you only get 8 gigs of RAM. If for $600 you would actually be getting like 16 gigs of RAM, that Mac Mini would just take over. That would be just such an incredible deal. So overall, I'm very happy when I read such stories with Microsoft actually rewriting some code, not just like adding things that will just break more things down the line, just working on the reliability of the Windows OS. It just makes me happy. Let me know what you think and have a nice day.